Hey guys, this is Charlie with Alpha Lacrosse, and today we're going to be talking about different ways to tape up your stick and my preferences on how to do it. So a lot of people have different preferences on where they like grip on their stick. Some people like no tape at all so their hands can move really freely, while people like I like a bunch of tape on my stick in very specific areas so you can have certain spots with more texture. And today I'm going to talk to you about different choices you can do for the top of the shaft for some grip when you're cradling one-handed, and what you can do for the bottom of your shaft, so for your bomb hand down there. Cool, so a really essential skill for taping your stick, which I really like, is splitting your tape. So you're going to take your tape and then reach about a ½ inch in. I'm just going to do a little tear right here and then put the other part back down and then just keep tearing this. This smaller strip of tape will help you do a lot smaller pieces of tape on your shaft and will give you more grip in the end. Some people like to have grip all over the top of their stick, so an option for you to do is just start with your split tape or just the regular side of the tape. I just like to do this because you get more edges to work with on your glove, so you get a little bit more feeling. And with this, you just wrap around the outside of the shaft, slowly covering more and more each time, and make sure you leave a little bit on each side of the tape. This way you'll have a lot of ridges coming up and you'll have a lot of grip as you reach for the top of the shaft. So another option up top, which is a little bit more stylish and a little cooler, you can put a piece of the split tape right here at the bottom and then wrap this one around the outside until you reach the top. And when you reach the top, you can just split this right here. Now you can do similar on the opposite side of the shaft. So we're gonna take this split piece of tape, pull it off right here, and just make sure wherever the other piece matches up, it crosses over with it. And then to end this tape job, you can roll off another piece of split tape and just cover up the outsides of the top. And then we can do similar to the bottom. This is how we crisscross our tape at the top of the shaft, if you like that feeling. And now, personally, what I like to do for the top of my shaft is I like to have certain stripes of tape that fit in between my fingers on the shaft. So I'm gonna grip the shaft and kind of see where my fingers line up. And then I'm gonna take a couple pieces of tape and just wrap around about 5 times on each place. And then here's a tip that I do that helps me keep my tape down from fraying up when I'm playing. You can take a lighter and put it where the end of the tape is and hold it up to it for a little bit. It'll melt the ends of the tape, lick your finger, and then just brush it against the rest of the tape, and that'll melt all the tape together and it won't fray from that end anymore.
What a day today. Just beautiful out there. We're gonna roll it into tomorrow, the next day.
And there you go.
It's been a warm day and it's feeling like
So for the bottom of my shafts, I like to do a layer of tape going over each angle on the back. This way I can put on my end cap. I don't have to worry about it like moving around or coming off. It makes the shaft a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit tighter for the end cap to slide onto. You can then just take your butt end, slide it on there, and then you can feel that's really not going anywhere with that extra tape under there. Now for the bottom of the shaft, you can do the same thing with that crisscross we did at the top. Going down, you can just do one piece of tape going all the way down, or some people even do the 2 knobs right here, so you can have your hand in a spot for shooting, a spot in your hand for passing. Another option is to do a knob at the end of your stick. So what you do for that, I like to line it up with the butt end so that you have something to work the tape against, so you're not just going free on the shaft. So you're just gonna wrap around the shaft about 30 times, and that'll give you a nice knob of tape at the bottom that your hand can slide into, which will give you more power when you're passing and shooting. And then if you have a knob like this, all of the energy from your hand is like pulling the shaft down then, it's not sliding anymore. It actually adds speed to your shot. All of this tape just builds up on top of each other and almost makes like a wall on your shaft. So when your hand is sliding down, it'll just stop here. It won't pass it and come off the butt end of your shaft. And then because the kinetic energy of your hand, like when you're throwing, If you don't have a knob, your hand is actually sliding a little bit down your shaft, even if you don't notice it. And then we're gonna use the same strategy that we used up top to have our tape not fray. Gonna take a lighter, hold it next to the tape for a little bit, flick your thumb, and then just spread it against the rest of the tape. Now, how I personally do the tape on the bottom of my stick, I take a split end, and the side that's ripped from the rest of the tape should be facing towards the head while you're doing this. Now, you're gonna go however low you wanna go on the shaft, and you're gonna start by just wrapping around the shaft once. And by using this split end, it's giving you significantly more edges to work with on your gloves and on your shaft. It's important that you have the ripped side of the tape facing down, because that's the tape that's on top right now, rather than the smooth edges which are getting covered up. Good. And then when you get to the top of the shaft, back of your knob, you're just gonna wrap around once, make sure you have all your shaft covered, then you're just gonna rip your tape again. We're gonna use that same strategy with melting the tape onto the rest so that it won't fray. Now, the main reason that I like to have this frayed end of the tape on top is it's a little stickier and it gives me a little bit more grip when I'm actually using it. And a way I get even more grip and a little bit more stickiness to my shaft is I then take my thumb and run it up the tape. And that brings up these edges and makes them a lot rougher. So that way when I have my hand on the bottom of my shaft, it feels kind of stuck onto the shaft, but still easy to remove if I want to. So I'm just gonna go all the way along the edges and just slide my thumb up and get a lot of grip on it. Great. And now you have a nice sticky bottom piece of tape, and that'll give you a bunch of grip when you have your bottom hand on your shaft. So today I told you guys some of my preferences and different ways on how to tape up your lacrosse shaft. These 3 rings at the top give me a nice grip between my fingers, and I'm cradling with one hand. Down at the bottom, this kind of box tape job with the edges cut up. It gives you a nice grip, and the knob helps you with shooting faster and passing faster. This has been Charlie with Alpha Lacrosse, and we'll see you next time.